So in this part, we're going to look through how to set up Tradingview. So Tradingview is our analysis platform, and there are many analysis platforms out there, but you'll find that Tradingview just has the most features, has the best user interface, it's very intuitive to use, and it really is very popular now. So I'm going to show you how to set this platform up. Now it's a website, so it's not like a program or a software that you download. So just go to or Google Tradingview, go to tradingview.com, and you can sign up for a free account. So what I've done here is set up a brand new account that's completely fresh, so it will look the same when you start this up, and I'll take you through how you can change the theme, add a watch list, sort of how to just set this up to your own personal preference, and of course everyone's going to have their own like themes and color schemes that they like, so you can do that yourself, but I'll show you how to actually change it and how to set up the entire thing, how to apply technical tools, etc. So when you first sign up for an account, it's going to look like this. I have actually deleted, it'll have loads of other things on this watch list, but I'll show you what to do with that in a second. So it'll look like this. So once you've signed up for the account, there are options to go pro. So if you want to go for a professional account, you can pay a little bit extra. It gives you a lot more functionality, but if you're a brand new trader, it's not really necessary to do that yet. You can sort of do that in the future when you find that you need those extra features. And if you wish to do that, you can do a 30-day free trial first, and then see how you like it. And if you want to, you can either go back to the free version or then pay for one of those other options. So let's first off head to the top left up here and go to chart. So you'll see this when you first log in. So it's obviously very bright, it's white, you've got these grid lines. You're going to have a load of other things here when you start with the default account too. I've just deleted them for now. So it will look exactly the same as this. So what we're going to do is first off set the theme up to what you may want it. So everyone has their own preference, light or dark. I personally prefer dark charts, dark screens, dark Instagram, Facebook, etc. because it's less of a bright glare into your eyes. So if you're analyzing the charts and you're at the charts quite a few hours of the day, this is going to be a little bit intense because it's going to always be sort of like glaring into your face. You may like that, obviously not like the glare, but you may like the white charts, that's fair enough. But personally, I'm going to change this now to dark. So we're going to go top left onto these little lines up here and enable the dark color theme. So immediately I think that looks better. One thing I'll make a note of as well is that you'll see these ads popping up. So if you are using the free trial or you're on the free account, you will get these ads popping up saying, do you want to upgrade, etc. Do you want to go to the free trial? So if you don't pay, you will have these advertisements. And of course, if you upgrade to the pro version, it's without advertisements. There is a little trick you can use to get rid of these sometimes. And if you're using Chrome or Edge, you can go to your extensions. So this looks a bit different because I've installed this as an app. I've installed the window as an app. But go to your extensions, install something like uBlock Origin, and then click on the little zapper, and you can actually zap the whole ad away. And as far as I'm aware, I've not done this in a while because this is a new fresh account, but that won't pop up again. And sometimes if you'll get the big pop-ups in the center, zap that as well, and you also won't get those pop-ups again. So that's like a little trick of how to get ad-free while not actually paying for it. But the rest of the features are obviously not available. So we now have our dark charts, and of course if you want bright, just don't do that step. And the first thing we're going to do is just show you how to change the theme, because before you get started doing watch lists and technical analysis, let's just get it looking a little bit nicer first. So right click, go down to settings. So I'm going to go straight to events. You'll notice all these little pop-ups down at the bottom. We don't really need those on here. So just untick all of these options, because unless you're trading stocks and you need those specific things, you can change that later. But we don't need like the economic events because you can find that on different websites. You don't need these little pop-ups coming up. It's just more things to distract you. So get rid of all that. It's nice and clean at the bottom. The next thing I'm going to do is turn off the show buy sell buttons up here because we're not trading through Tradingview. So therefore untick that, one less thing on your chart. Everything else here I think is absolutely fine. So let's now go to the appearance and change the way, if you want to, this looks. So the first thing I'm going to do, I don't personally like grid lines. I don't find them necessary. So I'm going to turn those off. Get rid of the grid lines. Just turn the opacity to 0. You can see they're now gone. You may want to change the color of the background if you want to do that. And change that to solid. And if you want a really dark background, you can go black, or just stick it as it is, or go lighter, or any of these other colors. So that's just how you can change the overall color of the background. The text along the side, if you want that a little bit brighter, because obviously it's kind of a bit of a dark grey at the moment, I can change that maybe 1 up, make it a little bit more visible, and also change the lines a little bit more visible as well, just so we can get that as a boundary around the edge. Of course, this is all just personal choice. That's how I set mine up. You have the crosshair here. Again, it's kind of a little bit dark when you have this dark theme. So I'm going to make that a bit brighter so I can see that a bit clearer. And you can change that if you want to like a line or whatever you wish. I'm just going to keep that on dash line for now. If you want to, you can add a watermark where it shows you what you're looking at. So it might be useful if you're brand new and you want to remember what chart you're looking at, but don't personally find that necessary. So that's pretty much it for appearance. You can obviously change all of the background as you wish, but that's how you would do it. Now let's go to the next tab up, which is scales. So what do we need to do on this one? We actually don't need to do anything, I don't think, on this. You can leave that all as it is. Going to status lines. So what you have now is various different options for like the technical tools around the edges, etc. So symbol, description, that's going to be up to the top left here. So you might find that useful to keep it on description because it will tell you what you've got. Obviously, this is a stock because it's the default one. I'll add the currency pairs here in a second. OHLC values, that's actually very useful. So you'll see up here you have the OHLC values. We know from now you've learned in the course that each candle has an open, high, low, and close. So if you want to know what the exact values were for this candle here, you hover over it, look at the top left, it tells you the exact pip values of the open, high, low, close. I'd recommend keeping it on, it's very useful. And the bar change value can be useful. That's the last little bit. You know, that bar was minus 2.46%. It's very small. It's kind of useful to be up there. Rest of it's also fine. So that's pretty much it. That's all we really need. So status line, you can change those as you wish, but I'd recommend keeping it all as it is there. Now up to symbols. Now we can really get to customizing this. So last price line. I'm actually just going to go to a Forex pair. So go to euro dollar. So you'll see that this is a live chart of euro dollar. So if we go back to the settings again, the body, borders, and wick are customizing the candles. So if you want to change this candle to, let's say, white, you can change the body to white, and that's like the other body. So of course you don't want both of them white, but you're going to have, let's say, red and green or red and white. You can change the border of the candle to white and then red, so it's a bit more sort of in line. You can change the wicks as well. So if you want your candles to look like that, you can have it like this instead. So instead of having green and red, you can have white and red. I have white and blue. Totally up to you. But I'm just going to keep that as it is for now because now we've just changed some of the settings there, as if you may, something you may wish to do. So I'm going to change that all to the same color, so it's all in line. Last price line, that is this line here. So if you want to see exactly the price on the line in relation to the overall chart, you can keep that on. I personally turn it off because I don't feel the need to have a line going across the screen. It can also be a bit confusing if you draw your support and resistance as lines. You might think you're at a level when actually it's just coming off of this current price line. So you can look to the right anyway and see what the current price is. So I personally want to turn that off. And everything else is fine. So we've sort of customized our background, our sides, taken off the events, we've customized the candle color, and we've taken away the last price line. So that's pretty much it for the chart settings. If I click OK, you now have a much nicer looking, in my opinion, chart. Obviously I don't use these colors, but it still looks kind of cool. What we're going to do now. So what I'm going to do now is this sidebar here. So first off, what is this area? This is the watch list area. So when you first sign up to the default settings, you'll have loads of them here. Just click this X button on all of them. Just click X, 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 X. Get rid of all of that stuff. And we're going to add a separate, like a brand new watch list. So for Forex, what we're going to do is click on the plus up here and add symbols to this watch list. So let's add a few FX pairs and a few commodities and some other things. So you'll find when you type in any pair, you're going to have loads of euro dollars. And you might think, well, there's tons. Which one do I actually add? Just go for the top one. Just go for the FXCM one. It's fine. Click on plus, and there you are. You've got euro dollar. And if you save this, so make sure that when you exit the chart or when you do any serious analysis, it does autosave. Make sure you enable autosave top left. Make sure that's enabled. Otherwise, if you don't enable that, you do loads of work, you close it, it'll all be gone. So the little tick will show up in the cloud up here. And I've just renamed this layout from default, whatever it was, to CTI starter. So there's your euro dollar. Let's now also add a few other pairs. Let's do pound dollar, click the plus. Let's do USD CAD, just adding some random pairs here. So we got 5 different Forex pairs there. I'm also going to add a few other things. So let's add some commodities as well. Let's add US oil. So it might take you a while if you're like trying to search for oil, for example. There's going to be so many different options here. Just a little tip: if you do trade oil, it's either going to be US oil or probably UK oil. So just click plus on that. So you now got the oil chart as well. I'll show you why I'm doing this in a second. If you want to trade gold, do XAU USD. Let's also add silver, XAG USD, and let's also add 2 stock indices. Let's do Germany 40 now for the DAX. So there is DAX 40. Let's add that. I think that's the correct one. That's fine, I think. And let's also add. Let me just check actually. I'm gonna do Germany 40 CFD. I think. Yeah, that's the candles are more complete. So let's also add US 30 as well. So the top 30 companies in the US. And I'll show you why I've added so many in a second, because we're going to add headings. So you've got some FX pairs here, got some commodities, got a couple of stock indices that you can also trade. So the reason I've done this is you can actually add this feature now where if you right click, add section, let's call that section Forex. And then let's add a section here and call that section commodities. And then let's go to this one here and add a section and call this stock indices or indexes, whatever you want to say. So you've got Forex pairs here, commodities here, and stock indices there. So you can actually separate out your watch list quite nicely. So that just makes it a little bit easier. That's why I've added so many. So you've actually got now, and also remember to save that, a really nice watch list that will be there automatically when you come back in. So we've now, it hasn't taken us very long, and we've set up the entire theme. Got rid of unnecessary items on the screen, and also set up an entire watch list with different headings. Now this bit here, a lot of this is unnecessary. I'd recommend dragging that all the way down. All you really need to know is maybe that information, or just that even. Because all this technical analysis stuff, you don't need that. It's going to be a bit confusing. You do your own text. So let's just move it, let's say, to there. That's all you need, just the what it is, the price, and the change, and whether it's open or not. And you'll see you have the change percentage here, the price it was, and the name of the symbol. You can also drag that as far as it goes to the right to make this screen bigger. Get that saved. So we're looking really quite nice now. We've got almost a fully set up Tradingview already. It's taken us about 10 minutes to do, so it doesn't take very long. So now we've done that, I'll show you how to add indicators, how to sort of like set up your favorites bar for whatever technical tools you're going to be using. So let's add a 50 moving average. So we'll go up here, go to indicators, and then search for exponential, moving average exponential for a 50 EMA. And when you click that, it will add a default one. So we don't want this, we want to customize this to a 50. Double click, input, just change that to 50. Obviously, if you want a 200 SMA, then search for just moving average or simple moving average, change that to 200. Click OK. That's changed it. If you want to change the look, because obviously it's kind of blue on blue, make it a little bit more standout. Let's go to style. You can change that to, I think, let's say you want to change it to what looks good, just like a white or something, and you can change the thickness of that a bit thicker. Click OK. You've now got pretty easy to see moving average on the chart. And when you change your time frames, I'll show you how to do that in a second, this will synchronize across those time frames. And let me just double check that's true. So when you have the layouts here, so this is just one chart, and in the free version you can only have one chart on the screen. Whereas if you pay for the pros, you can have these different layouts where you have, let's say if you put 4 charts, you would have, you need a big monitor and you need the trial, etc. You'd have one chart here, one there, one there. So that's when all this sort of stuff is necessary. But at the moment, all you need to be synchronized, because you only have one chart anyway, is the drawings and the crosshair. So you can get to that later when you come to it, if you decide to do it. Let's now add some custom timeframes. So come to the top left, this is the 1D of euro dollar. So if you click on D here, these are your options for timeframes. So you want to star the ones that you're going to use. So you're probably likely to want to use the weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, anything else you want. So I'm going to star the 1 week, star the 1 day, star the 4 hour, and star the 1 hour, because now you can just easily switch between those time frames super quickly. So you're on the euro dollar daily chart, you're looking at the candles, the levels, all the sort of technical analysis. Comes to the top left, click on the 1 hour chart, and boom, you have now the 1 hour chart. So you can easily sort of move across those different time frames very quickly. And that's always going to stay up there. You don't have to click and choose the list. So it makes it a bit easier. So that's it. That's your time frames. That's how to change those. And if you go to the 1 hour chart and you change to a different chart, it's synchronized across. And you can just really easily, quickly change through as time goes on. So now let's choose our technical tools. So everyone's may use different technical tools. I'll just add some general favorites. So things like trend lines, you can click on star, and you can see now it's going to start to build a favorites list down here. Maybe you might sometimes use the arrow tool, horizontal lines for levels, maybe parallel channel for channels. What else do we have? Go over here. We want fib retracement. I think that's it for this one. I mean, of course, some people are going to use different ones, but you can customize this to however you wish. You may want to sometimes use rectangles for ranges, maybe ellipses for kind of putting circles on the chart. I think that's good for now. Add text in some places. And all these patterns, you can choose which one you wish, but I'm going to leave that for now. Maybe you want the long position, the short position tool. And I think that's it. So just for a simple little favorites list, you've got that now down here, or wherever you want it. You can move it around. And instead of having to find the one you want in all the lists, you want to place a line on, you just click that, click, line, that's it, done. You want to add a fib retracement. This looks absolutely crazy at the moment. I'm going to show you how to change this in a second, but you've now got your different technical tools. So you can place all these on the chart and start customizing it to how you want it to always look. So let's say that we want just a white box now and have no center. Make that like so. So now when you make sure that's saved, if you now use that tool again in the future, you're just going to place on a white box. So once that's done, it's saved. That obviously you can't really see that properly. Let's change that as well. And save it. So now that's the way it is always. So we place a box, we place a line that's always saved, and you can do that with each of these tools. Obviously the rest of them are easy to do. It's just choosing a color. The fib is a bit more difficult. So let's double click on this fib and set this up properly. So obviously, if you're new, this is going to be a bit overwhelming. We want to change the fib to look a bit more kind of to what we like. So you're going to want different levels here on the Fibonacci. So different people may use different levels, but let's just add the standard ones that we've spoken about in this course. So we want the 0 because that's like the beginning or the top of the wave. The 1 is the 100. So if you're a bit confused about this, remember, just go back to the Fibonacci video. Make this a bit brighter so we can actually see. Actually, I'm also going to just get rid of the background because you don't need the background. Let's change the labels to the right-hand side and put them in the middle. And that looks a lot better already. Get rid of the trend line. It's just stuff you don't need on this chart. 38.2, we can keep the 38.2. 61.8%. Maybe you also want the 50%. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of these for now. So that's your basic fib with your retracements, because now if we just click OK, we've not added the extensions yet. We'll do that in a second. Let's get rid of this. So now if you place the Fibonacci on, let's say that you're looking to looking for this to be a big wave back to the upside. You may click it there, drag it across. You now have your 38.2, 50%, 61.8%, 78.6. You might want to add more. If you want to add the 88.6, you can just come here, enable one and say 0.886, click OK, and a new line pops up. And of course, if you want them different colors or different thicknesses, you can sort that out yourself. But I'm just going to make that a little bit thicker, which is, I can't find it myself now. Oh, there it is. Right, so that makes the lines a bit thicker, a bit easier to see. So if we want to add our D1 and D2 extensions, we can do that. So let's click on 2 more options here. And let me just double check. So it's minus. So there's our first one, minus 0.26. Don't worry about why it is that. That's just the D1. And then you can add another one, minus 0.618. So those are your D1 and D2 targets. Those two targets here. So obviously the colors are a bit wacky at the moment. You can change them to be uniform whenever you wish, but you now have your various levels on here and your D1, D2 fib extension targets, and you'll see how they sort of expand as you change this. Oh, there's a rogue level up there. Let's get rid of that. So now make sure you save that, and you can get rid of it for now. So yeah, that's pretty much everything set up. You've got your favorite technical analysis tools down here that you can edit yourself. Got a watch list with headings set up. You've got a fully customized chart. We know how to add indicators, and we know how to change it from light to dark. That's pretty much it. So you now have a fully set up TradingView chart. I'll just show you what options there are if you want to go pro. So if we go to here and let's go to home a second. So you can leave this, and I'll show you if we go back onto it, it'll now be set up the way we wish. So if we just do upgrade now. So these are your different options here. You can obviously, monthly is going to cost you more than if you do it annually. And these are the different options it will give you. I think I used this one on my personal one. But you can also wait for like Black Friday and get pretty decent discounts on that too. And you can try the free trial as well to see what that's like. But that's how you would choose one of these plans. Go back to chart, and you'll see that now instead of having the ugly default, you just come back to this again. And that's it. That's how to set up TradingView. You're now sort of well versed in how to do that. You can customize it to how you wish personally. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next part. We're going to go through how to set up MetaTrader 4, which is the actual platform to trade on. So the reason why we sort of changed what we're doing analysis on and trading on is that if you do your analysis and trade on the same platform, for a start, it's a bit more complicated to do that through TradingView. Analysis is hard to do on MetaTrader 4, and you don't really want to be doing analysis where you have your profit and loss ticking away on the bottom, because then you're going to make emotional decisions. It's sort of like removing the monetary aspect and just looking at the charts itself, instead of having money ticking around and the ability to buy and sell all the time. You just buy and sell when you really need to, and sort of separate your analysis and your trading in two different platforms. So that's TradingView, and I'll catch you on the next part.